Did you push the button?
I did.
Oh my goodness. Hey guys. Hi. Shelly and Lisa from Sound Mind and Spirit. And we got some good feedback, so we're trying this again.
We're back! And someone besides our mom watched, which was all, just to be honest, that's all the encouragement we needed to do this again.
That's true.
Yay. So we heard from Captain Jeff and Maria Johnson and Father Corey on
Catholic Weekend,
SQPN, which of course we've been fangirls for a long time of SQPN.
Yeah, but I've never actually caught it live because they record too early in the morning for me.
On Saturday mornings, check them out. I think they're going to Blab this week. Did I hear that right?
Blab? What is Blab?
It was this morning. We can chat. It's a new social media platform. It's online. Live streaming.
Cool.
So that's
something new.
So go check out, and you can always catch it on iTunes. Catholic Weekend, and they have a lot of fun. Sometimes a little much though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they don't drink wine.
No, they don't.
They're in the morning. Cheers. They drink coffee.
So just to give you an update, what we're doing right now is my husband is making us dinner. He is downstairs making salmon, and the kids are downstairs. And
not all of them.
Not all of them, right? You were missing two of yours.
Yes, both my teenagers are gone. So my oldest is babysitting, making money, and my middle daughter is playing select softball today
with your husband. He's there with her.
There with
her. Yeah. And so my three kids are downstairs with her 4-year-old and my husband, and they are all downstairs.
Are you sure there's not one hiding behind the couch?
She was earlier. She really wanted to be part of this. So, how is your week going? It has been, we recorded last week on Friday. This is Saturday night.
I had a really crazy week. We had a major project going on at the office, and it was one of those where you get there at 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, and then you stay till 8 o'clock at night, and then you come home and you go straight to bed. So I had about 3 days where I didn't even see my youngest awake.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a good week. It went by fast. I'm glad it's over. How about you?
Well, something I didn't talk about last time, I've been really working on the new year. And it's not Lent, it's really just the new year. I've been working on getting up early. I know, everybody laughs.
Because I know you.
I'm like a teenager. Seriously, my kids need to be at school 8 o'clock. This is part of my whole being late thing. I sleep as late as humanly possible to then get them to school. So I'm working on it. My husband is an early bird. He goes to work really early. So I have been getting up. Alarm set at 5:45. I've been on the treadmill by 6 a.m.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I can show you my run keeper. And then
you have to text me or something because I don't believe
you. The first week I did it because he'd already left for work.
Nope, I don't believe you.
I was taking selfies. Those I'm asleep, brushing my teeth selfies. No, and then I would text it to him.
Oh,
so it's like proof of life. Only proof I'm awake.
You know what I do? I do the same thing, but you know what it is? It's proof I'm leaving the office. I take a picture in the elevator because it's got the glass mirror. I take a picture in the elevator, and he's like, I don't believe you. You could just be standing there. And then I take a picture of the car in the parking garage, and then I take a picture of me getting out of the parking garage.
Why don't you put that on Instagram? That'd be so funny. Like, you in the elevator, like, I'm leaving the office. We could come up with a cool hashtag. Or there's probably already a cool hashtag for that. That's fun.
I'm really leaving? Yes, I am. I promise.
Yeah, I like that. So anyway, I've been getting up early. And
hashtag proof of life, proof of leaving.
Okay, if you have a suggestion of what to hashtag that. Mine is proof of getting up early, and I've been really working on it. And so I've been on the treadmill. And when I do on the treadmills, I watch TV. I watch Netflix. And I've been watching Broadchurch, which Father Roderick Von Hogan and Daily, what's he calling it now? The Daily Break? No, The Break.
The Break.
Whatever, SQPN The Break. He's been talking about it, and I know some other friends on Facebook can talk about it. It's a BBC, I guess, British show. Excellent. If you like...
Mercy Street.
That's on after Downton. I watch that whenever. But this one is the one I watch in the morning because it's a cop drama. And it's really, really like a whodunit. You don't see who's coming. And it's, it's character development. They do such an excellent job on character development. I just can't wait to tune in. It makes me get out of bed.
Okay, bet you.
But I just finished it.
I bet you $20 that Dominic Bettinelli could probably guess the criminal or the murderer.
Oh, whatever, Dom.
Yeah. I know,
because he commented on Facebook to Father Roderick that I know. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Castle's the easiest one to do. It's I got it.
Okay, but I just finished Broadchurch, so now I'm looking for a new show to get on my treadmill with.
Ooh, how long? Like an hour show or
so an hour show without commercials is like 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so that's perfect for me. I can do about 3 miles in 50 minutes because I walk about 16-minute miles. So my whole goal is just to get it done.
Well, maybe somebody out there has a suggestion for you.
And I tried watching the new X-Files.
Didn't work. I didn't watch the old X-Files, so okay.
No, I'm not a fan. Anyway,
so
I was a fan.
How's your Lent going then?
How's my Lent going? Well, okay, so I had a major, remember I said I was always late? Mm-hmm. So I started a new Bible study this week. Cool. It's Edward Tree, Ascension Press, the Bible. Mm-hmm. It's during the day, walk through the Bible. It's during the day. So I had it on my Outlook as 10 o'clock. It started at 10:30. So I was early. Total win. #win.
Oh my gosh.
And that was good because
you probably did that on purpose though.
No, I didn't because I would know that. But if you look at my Instagram, I don't know what it is. The 5 Jones. That's what it is. The 5 Jones. I was the number 5. Okay. The number 5 Jones. I was not terribly early to Mass. I was not late.
Oh yeah, because Father's already done a homily on being late.
I was not late per se. Father Joy made a comment when I walked in. He was standing at the back, but the music had not started.
That's right. As long as the music hasn't started yet, you're good. You're not late.
But we still had to sit in the back. So I did take a picture of that, and I thought that will make me not be late anymore because
I saw that picture.
I hate sitting on the back. I know people do it on purpose, but
I don't like sitting in the back.
I hate sitting on the back. Anyway, so that's how mine. I'm working on the being late thing. Bertie had a soccer game today. I was not late.
That's fantastic.
And it was a 45-minute drive to the soccer fields. And we made it in time when they were just starting to warm up when we got there.
Well, so good. My daughter is playing in a softball tournament, and it was an hour-ish drive. It was way out in Katy.
We're in Houston. Everything's far.
Yeah. So it was way out in Katy, and we had to take 4 toll roads to get there. I'm like, that's not toll roads. But the game started at 10, and I didn't leave the house on time because I had Douglas, and I had gotten them out of the house, and then I don't know. So I missed her playing. She caught that game, and they won. But I actually drove up. I got to see the last half inning where she was catching, but I love watching her play. I love watching her play. So.
Well, that actually is what we're talking about tonight.
I know.
It is.
Funny how we did that.
See how we worked that in? Okay. So we both have kids who play sports. Mm-hmm. All 3 of mine have played sports at some point. I only have 2 that are now currently involved in sports.
Technically, yes, you do, because Ashley rides.
Okay, Ashley is equestrian. She rides a horse.
And technically, Douglas started this week. He started T-ball. Because I needed one more thing on my schedule, right? As a working mom, one more thing.
He's bored. He's in T-ball. But
if Mom hadn't taken him, he wouldn't be in T-ball.
No. So I have 2 in soccer. One who plays... my son plays recreational soccer, which is still 2 practices a week and a game on Saturday. For rec. Because he's 12. Huh. And then my daughter, who's 9, is in competitive. She's pre-select, so they're not in select yet. It's called academy. So she practices twice a week, and then she has a game on Saturday. And then because she's on the top team in her age group for the club, she also plays on Sunday.
Cool.
Every week.
You know what I've noticed is really interesting? Soccer tournaments are completely run differently than softball tournaments. I mean,
y'all are. Yeah.
Our schedule and your schedule, and we'll talk about it, but we'll be like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't jive with me. So.
Well, because y'all can play back-to-back. In soccer, you don't play back-to-back. So we play a game. Oh, my gosh. Have you been to a soccer game?
Not,
do you know how much they run?
I think the last soccer game I went to was Megan, our niece.
No.
Like 7. No, is she 8 now? 7.
I don't know.
She got a birthday coming.
I don't know. So they run like stupid.
Oh, that's right.
They cannot.
It's constant movement.
It's constant movement.
So,
and they don't do a lot of subbing. I mean, they do and they don't. It just depends on the
double
coach
headers.
and no. So the last tournament we were in, she had I think 3 or 4 hours in between games.
So what do you do for 3 or 4 hours when you're an hour and a half away from home?
We haven't had one that far yet. We went home.
Oh, so no, ours. Brenna's tournaments are almost all at least an hour and a half away from home.
We went home, and actually, I didn't post on Instagram, but she took a bubble bath. She did. She was tired. Well, there was enough bubbles. You can't see anything.
No, but you still really
But she was like her muscles and wanted her to relax. Put her in my big jacuzzi bathtub, with like.
Does yours have the one that goes to the bubbles?
Yeah.
Oh, mine doesn't have that.
So yeah, she bubble bath for like 30, 45 minutes and then got out. We washed her clothes so they would be fresh and yeah. So that tournament was only about 30 minutes away. Yeah. So we just ran home in between.
Well, that's one of the problems that Brian and I have with the softball. Brenna, my 13-year-old, she plays on a select, very highly competitive team. But her team is we didn't get on a team that's near our house. So the team she's on is a team we really like. We like the coaches. We like the team manager. We like the opportunity that she has to grow and develop and play. But round trip, it's 90 miles away. I mean, it's 45 miles one way. So it's a 90-mile round trip. And that's twice a week. And the tournaments, and even if she was on a team locally, like closer to home.
Because she's older, so.
Those tournaments are way up in like North Houston, Conroe, Cypress.
Is softball just more popular in that area? Or why are there not more tournaments on our side of town?
I don't know. Like the one today was in Katy, but it was almost all the way up to 290. So
yeah,
it was still a drive.
And that's. We've talked a lot about it, and we both blogged about it. In that, how do you parent? How do you model? How do you advocate and push your kid without?
Well, I mean, for
being that crazy parent. I mean, how do you do it? Where's that line?
There's a line.
Oh
the line is rec league versus select.
No, it's not. No, because there's crazy people in rec too. Trust me.
No, though I think the crazy people are in rec. I think when you get into travel and select is when you still have crazy in the academy.
No, I have friends who are kids are older than mine, so middle school, high school, playing soccer, and they have parents who are like, if you don't shut up and sit down, like the policeman will escort you to your car.
Their kids are never going to get noticed by a college scout if they play like that, or if the parents are like that. Because here's one of the things we learned. In rec ball, we could yell. I mean, we were on All-Stars, and we went to the state ASA tournament. It was so much fun. It was the first experience we'd ever had. And I kind of got into it a little bit. With a mom from another team who was...
See, I'm touching my hair. I can't stop.
I'll quit. Okay. She was really, really rude, and I think I blogged about that one. But
you did blog about that one. How hard it was not to engage.
I had to walk away. I had to walk around the parking lot. Went to the car. I actually got my chair out because I was sitting in the bleachers, and she sat at her chair right in front of my feet, and it was like, excuse me, I'm sitting here. But I had to walk around. I got my chair. I had to sit on the far side by the dugout so I would calm down. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, let's kill them. I mean, like, let's beat them very...
Oh, sure, that's what you meant, sure.
It was midnight, and the game went so late.
That's just... We haven't reached that point.
But now that we're in a select team, and she's playing, this is 14U, and this is the first year you supposedly are being watched by college scouts. It's a whole new level of competitiveness and intensity. And it's really got to be her decision to play this, because this is time and this is money that we are putting into allowing her to pursue her dream. Okay, so all these people, when they get to the Olympics and they say, my parents were so supportive of me and they supported my dream. Well, my daughter says she wants to play in the 2024 Olympics.
She could. I mean, that's the thing is, how do you
money for that?
How do you support them?
I don't know.
And at the same time be realistic, because if you look at sports and the percentage of kids that go on to do something like that, it's minuscule. I mean, whether you're talking about football, basketball, baseball, or soccer or softball. I mean, it's probably, you probably have better odds in girls' sports, I would think, because there's fewer girls, but there might be fewer spots for them, and they don't make money as professionals. So. Okay, I have a recommendation because I read a book.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this before we set
up. I love books, yes. And I did learn these are backwards. So I'm going to show you anyway. It's called Changing the Game. It's called Changing the Game, The Parent's Guide to Raising Happy, High-Performing Athletes and Giving Youth Sports Back to Our Kids. And it's by John O'Sullivan, and we'll link to it in the show notes. Are we calling them show notes? I just said that because that's what the Willits say. Hey, Greg and Jennifer. Hi. Because they say that. Okay, anyway. So we have show notes now.
Wait, we said it in Secrets of Once Upon a Time.
Did we?
Yeah. Okay. Inga would always say she put something in the show notes.
Okay. So we have, so I'm going to link to it. a friend of mine who has older kids in sports, and when I was having trouble not being that crazy screaming mom.
I think you wrote about that.
I did blog about it, and I had to apologize. I said something to the coach after the game, and at the time I felt I was advocating for my son because he wasn't getting playing time and this and that. He was 8.
Wasn't he an academy in there?
He was in the academy. He was pre-select. He was playing competitive where you try out and all that. But he was 8 or 9. 9.
How old is he now? 12?
He's 12. So I was advocating for him, and I did it in a not very appropriate way. And there are people in the club, in the soccer club, because we're still in that club, that remember that. And I had to apologize. And God, that was so hard. I mean, let me just say, that's hard because all I could think of is I just ruined my son's chance to do well, to get on a good team or to advance or them to play him or take him seriously because now I'm known as that crazy parent. And so I was that crazy parent. So a friend of mine gave me this book.
Okay, I have 2 things to say about that, though.
Okay.
Number one is, yes, we were told that, too, when we started doing the select sport, that you as a parent, you don't cheer too loudly, you don't talk to your kid.
I didn't do any of that.
You only let the coach direct, and if you've got a problem with the blue, with there's a line, and you can say a few things, but you are being watched and judged just as much as your child is being watched and judged.
No, I said something directly to the coach.
Oh, well, you're not on that team anymore, are you? Well, that was number 2. Number 2 was, one of the things you and I have talked about is how both your son and my younger daughter are at the age where, and I think you brought it up in the book too, that kids are starting to either drop out of sports, where they're that 12, 13-year-old, they're either dropping back down into rec, where they're just playing to have fun. Because in the beginning, we put them in there to learn how to be a team. We put them in there to learn how to deal with failure.
Yes, and they do have to, how to deal with a loss, how to deal with not being the best player.
That's right, right. You want to teach them that early.
And teamwork. It's very important to learn how to trust other people.
That's right, and you want them to learn that early because it will shape how they deal with high school, it will shape how they deal with college, and it will shape how they deal with their adulthood life. Disappointment or, I mean...
And what we learned from
so many tangents.
What we learned from the experience was that he was really unhappy in the team. So whether or not it was, we had some issues. We did have some issues. I mean, it wasn't. I handled it in a very poor manner. I understand that.
It was a learning experience for you.
Oh my goodness!
It can be a learning experience.
But what we learned is from that. After that, we really listened to him and what he wanted to do, and he hated the crazy competitive nature of this select.
It's not his strength.
It is not his atmosphere, and he loves soccer, but it was not that way. The kids were mean. The kids were mean to each other. The parents were mean to the kids. It was just a really ugly atmosphere, and so we had to stop. And I will say, my husband was a much bigger person about this than I was because I really struggled with. He's good. He has the skill.
Yep.
Why should he not be playing in this league when he can do it?
Because competitiveness is not one of his top strengths. It just
isn't. And he's very competitive in other ways. You ask him who's the smartest kid in his class, and he will very much tell you it's him. And you can ask his teachers, and they will tell you. He says it's me.
He doesn't get pleasure out of competing in that sport. He gets pleasure out of playing and being part of a team on that sport. And that's a whole different thing than what you're talking about.
And the way Brian, both our husbands are named Brian, right?
Yeah.
You're Brian, my Brian. My Brian, her Brian.
Lisa with an I, Brian with an I, Shelly with a Y, Brian with a Y. Okay, we got that.
It's so embarrassing, isn't it?
Hey, our dad loves it because he just says, Brian.
Somebody comes
both come. And dinner starting.
Oh, okay. So let me finish because I was just going to say something good about you, honey.
I don't think you
the way he put it to me was, look, if we make him do this, finish out it was Christmas time, it was winter break. If we make him finish out the spring season, and we'd already paid for the trainers, we'd already paid for all of the big bucks for it for the whole year. If we make him finish it out, he will hate soccer.
Yep.
He will finish it, but he will probably not enjoy the sport anymore. And so we let him come back to rec, and he has loved. And by the way, we did get part of our money back, but that's not the point. And, but he's loved it. He's on a team with friends from school. And they win, and they go to tournaments, and they do all of those things, but it is fun. It is not insane. It's not crazy. We don't travel. It's in the neighborhood, and he absolutely loves it.
But Birdie is competitive.
She's crazy.
She's crazy competitive. She's good.
And she's in.
It's Mia Hamm, right?
She's
old.
Mia Hamm's old.
Who's the new?
Mia Hamm's almost my age, so can we call her old?
Jenny Finch is like 26 and she's retired.
No, Mia Hamm's she's around 40, so that's old.
Okay, so I am not with the soccer stuff. I don't know who soccer is. Okay,
she loves Carly Lloyd.
Okay, Carly Lloyd.
And the awesome thing about
watch
Carly
out
Lloyd,
because Birdie Jones is coming after you.
She scored a hat trick in the World Cup, which is three goals in one game, which is weird because soccer doesn't score a lot.
What are we talking about?
Soccer. Carly Lloyd. Oh. She scored 3 goals in the World Cup this summer. She won gold. Woo! They won. Anyway, but Carly Lloyd, yay! Carly Lloyd also plays for the Houston Dash, so we get to go see her play locally.
Is she the one that was in that charity softball game that I went to see?
Yes, yes.
She had the funky socks on.
I
and
don't
she was really
socks,
cute.
but yeah.
Socks.
So she's not from here. She's from like New Jersey or something. But
she got here.
We'll adopt
she
her.
could.
Anyway, so Birdie is crazy intense, and Birdie is now playing that level, and she loves it.
She's good.
Absolutely loves it. And so it's been hard to look at each of your kids and to figure out what's good for them and what they embrace. And we could talk about this all forever. And we'll post the blog post that we're talking about, the one where you almost chewed out the mom and was ugly, and the one where I did chew out the coach and was ugly, and then
we should
and then the review of this book, because I really talked about how this book changed my it really changed my perspective on the game. And a good friend of mine gave it to me, and it really important. It was all about giving the sport back to the kid and letting it belong to them. And my only role is cheerleader.
That's right. And
that's it.
Number one supporter.
Cheerleader.
Does she have her bag? Does she have her things in her bag?
Oh, no.
Drive her there?
No. We've gone to games where her hair is down because mommy is not doing the hair. She is responsible for her own hair.
Oh, my daughter right now is into this look that has like 2 braids that go back like this. And to me it looks like Pony Club and the horses. But,
yeah.
But that's what they want. And her catcher's mask, the way it fits, it doesn't hurt her on the back. And so she loves it. And this morning at like 7:30, she's, Mom, can I do my hair? Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, they're in the loser's bracket tonight. But if they win the game at 8, okay, if they win the game at 8, they have to be back at this field and play a game at 8 in the morning, which means they have to be there to warm up at 7 in the morning, which means my husband and my daughter have to leave at 5:45.
And she loves every minute.
She loves every minute of it.
Yep.
She is not going to be having 2 French braids on her hair in 5:30.
Okay, so the question is,
Lisa likes questions.
I like questions.
People are still watching.
Oh my gosh, thank you for putting up with us. And anyway.
Okay.
If you've had kids in sports, especially if you're older, if you've parented through this,
oh God, please
let us know. I mean, just it's such a learning experience, and you don't get to do over it. So what advice can you have? Or if you have younger ones and you're just starting out, where do you find
I don't know what to
what
tell
are you
people who are
scared
just starting
of?
out.
What
That's
are
a
you?
whole nother post.
Well, it is. I mean, because mine started at 4. I mean, so we've been in this for a while.
Yeah.
So that's really it. And if you if
you have advice for us,
if you have another book, I love books.
Please help us.
And we said we were going to go shorter this time.
And
we went longer. I'm sorry. We're working on it. I promise. Yeah, and my husband is like at the door because he made salmon and it's really awesome, yummy. And he's the cook, not me. And we'll talk about that a whole nother time.
Oh yes, we can talk about that. Okay, we gotta go. Go. We'll get to the other stuff next week.
All right. So leave us feedback. Let us know if you want us to do another one and shorter
or longer.
We could talk forever.
We do.
Yeah. We could.
Okay, bye guys. Good night.
Bye.
You gonna stop it? You're not gonna stop it.
I am.
Stop it. I can't smile like this.